Okay, this is the lecture for Chapter 7. You can just fill in the PDF as we go along here. Just like we talked about in class, there are genotypes and phenotypes that we discuss in this chapter. And the genotype is always going to be I'm going to switch my pen color. The letters that we talk about. Okay, so when you talk about the letters, these are a combination of what we call alleles. Okay, so saying that, you've got one allele from your mom, one from your dad. What is that combination going to look like? And so oftentimes we'll say, well, maybe if we're using the letter Q to represent the allele, maybe it's big, big. Or it could be a big Q, little q. That would be your heterozygous one. Or it could be two recessive ones. The phenotype then is going to be the physical, what did I just do here? The physical expression, good gravy. The physical expression of the traits or those alleles that you get. So if we're talking about Q, say the Q is dominant for quiet, this one would give you quiet. This big Q, little q would give you quiet. And then the little q would be loud. Kind of a generic representation there, but helps you to kind of make sense of it. Now, there's two other terms that we talk about when we look at genotype and phenotype, and that is homozygous dominant, okay, and that would be, remember the prefix homo means same, and dominant means that you're using big letters, so that would be big Q, big Q. You also have homozygous, same, recessive. And recessive is your little letters, so that would be your little q, little q. And then when we talk about the heterozygous combination, that would be your big Q, little q. So where do we find these genes and these traits and everything inside of you? Well, if we're looking at the human, ooh, I don't want to do that. I want a black pen. Okay, so inside of the human body, okay, the human body is made up of cells, trillions of them. Made up of cells. And inside every single one of those trillion cells in your body are your chromosomes. So the cells come up here. Inside the cell are chromosomes. Inside the cell, chromosomes. And chromosomes, you get one from your mom and one from your dad, okay? And on those chromosomes, that's where we're going to find those genes. And genes are just pieces of DNA. So chromosomes are made up of DNA. And when we talk about a segment, or just a piece of DNA out of all of the DNA in your body and all the DNA in those chromosomes, a segment of DNA is called a gene. Okay, so we look into your genes for information. Now, like we said, why is this not moving? You get one chromosome from mom, and you get one from, say, dad. Mom gave you this one, and dad gave you this one. And that happened when the gamete was formed, or the zygote was formed with sperm and egg gametes. So when we take a look at those, there's going to be a gene here and then a gene here, and they're always found in the same location no matter where those genes are coming from. So this would be gene A. And then maybe somewhere in there, there's a gene B. And then there's a gene C. Okay, well, if C is coding for quietness or loudness, those are what we call those alleles. Okay, you got one C allele from your dad, and you got one from mom. Well, maybe mom gave you this one, and dad gave you that allele, which means that you would be a quiet person.